Well, hello and good morning. James Vissari here. We got about 2 minutes to go. So I see a little comment box. If you want to tell me you're here, that'd be good. I don't know if you guys can even comment or not. I'm going to be trying this out this morning and see where we can get. I want to welcome everybody. Again, I can't see if you're there or not, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the program. We got a couple things I have to share with you, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. I've already had a couple snafus this morning. I had a brand new microphone. Well, it wasn't brand new, but I set it up with a new battery and all that, and it used to work. Thought it was a battery, apparently not. So then my internet crashed, but you know how my IT stuff goes. Well, anyhow, we're here today. Well, I'm here today. I can't even see if you guys are here or not, and maybe you'll catch the replay if you're not. I'm going to start inside because I don't want to lose any signal and get outside and lose the power cord at that too. But we're here Sunday morning, about brunch time, and I'm live, and we're going to talk about a few things about plein air that we're going to start at the beginning. And I'll talk about a couple things throughout the whole series. I only wanted to do 15 minutes because I figured you could carve out 15 minutes if nothing else. You know, it's not going to get in the way of your day. And I've been in seminars before that are an hour long, and about the first 20 minutes is a commercial, and then there's 20 minutes of good information, and then 20 minutes of more commercial. So I'm not doing a commercial. And I only have 15 minutes to do it in, so about 12 and a half minutes now. So the things we're going to talk about here in this series, probably do three different sessions, is how we're getting over the fear of plein air painting. You know, some of us are scared to death out there, and we don't want to do it, and we don't know what we're doing, etc., etc. We're going to tackle this and get you out there and have you having a good time. So the way we want to do that are the principles of the 3 P's. We're going to prepare, we're going to practice, and we're going to role play. It's an RP at the end, but three P's. Today we're going to talk about preparing. And to prepare, we're going to ask ourselves a bunch of questions. We'll get into practice and role play the other 2 sessions. If you want to ask yourself questions, ask yourself. First of all, we'll break this down into three different sections. You're going to ask yourself, what am I afraid of, and then, what am I doing, and then how do I do it? That'll be your preparation. And you got to ask yourself first, what am I afraid of? Is it social anxiety? Are you afraid of people? Are you afraid that you don't know what you're doing? Does that scare the heck out of you? It scares the heck out of me too, but are you afraid you won't get people's approval? Well, people's approval, it's sometimes very important to us, but who cares what they think? If you love it, daggone do it. When my first time out painting, I'll never forget it. It's probably about 15 or 16 years old, and I was out there plein air painting. My dad and mom probably got me this easel, I don't know, a couple of years before, and I finally got to nerve up. My girlfriend asked me if I wanted to go paint, like I knew what I was doing or something, so I had to pretend like I did. And I brought it down there by the creek in Rock Creek, and I was painting away and doing the trees and the creek, and everything was beautiful and fine, and this carload of folks went by and yelled, "Paint me!" And I thought, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I was freaking out. But, some of us are introverts and some of us are extroverts. Most painters are introverts, so we got to get over the fact there are going to be folks out there screaming at us. Now I just go out there and I'll paint in the middle of the street. I don't care. And then another time I was out in the front yard, and shucks, probably just a couple years ago, I'm sitting out there and painting the crocuses. I paint the crocuses every year. You know, they come up and I get out there and paint them or draw them, sit in the front yard. I've got flowers all over the place, stuff coming up, so figure I'd get out there and paint. And I'm sitting in the front yard, neighbor going into his house, you know, hey, how you doing? And he looks over at me and goes, so you doing some arts and crafts? I was like, wait, arts and crafts are fine, but I'm a serious artist. You know, I thought to myself, gosh darn, that's embarrassing, but you know, you can't be embarrassed. It is the way it is. You know, so you got to ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Figure that out. And then you got to ask yourself, is it rational? You know, am I being afraid of something that, you know, is it okay to be afraid this way? You know, I'm scared to death of snakes, you know. I ain't playing with snakes. It's not going to happen. You know, is that a rational fear? Well, to me it is. Maybe I can get out there and play with something that's not a viper or something and get over it. You know, maybe I can do that. You know, are you afraid of airplanes and afraid of heights? You know, this is something that a lot of folks are afraid of. Are you afraid of the dark? You know, again, is it social anxiety? Or are you afraid of the grass? You know, you got to figure out, you know, is this normal? You know, is this going to freak me out? And, you know, sometimes things freak us out that don't freak anybody else out. You know, it's a different thing, and it doesn't make sense to other people. I used to be an Elvis impersonator. You know, that was, you'll see in the slideshow that I did, I snuck in one of my Elvis pictures of me in an Elvis suit, a jumpsuit. Anyhow, Elvis got out there, and well, what I'm getting at is, I was scared to death to be out in front of people, you know, interact with people, and I just jumped in with both feet and thought, an Elvis impersonator, that dude always had a crowd chasing him around. I'll do that and get over my social anxiety. So I did, and I studied Elvis. I watched this daggone video, and he's older and he's a little chubby, and he's getting up on stage in his jumpsuit in front of the crowd, and he steps to the microphone. He's addressing the crowd in the stadium. He says, "If you think I'm scared, you're right." You know, how does that make any sense? So, and anyhow, you got to figure out, you know, is it rational? And then, can it be overcome? Are you up to it? You know, well, is it safe? Is it cool to go out there and do what I want to do, or is it dangerous? You know, is it okay for me to get down and go in the inner city and paint at night and whatever, or is it safe for me to get out in the woods and lions and tigers and bears? You know, that type of thing. You know, is it safe? Is this something that I can do? Is it, you know, can it be overcome? You know, is it cool for me to handle vipers? I'm not into that. But, you know, maybe study some snakes or something. Figure out what's safe. You know, and you don't have to become an Elvis impersonator, but I learned that I can get out there in front of folks. So then you got to ask yourself, what am I doing? You know, you gotta be confident in what you're doing. You know, even what am I working with? Am I going with pencils and paper or paint, acrylics, oils? You know, or am I just out there to express myself? There's a guy I know, Johnny Mathis, that Matthias rather. He does his work. He's actually a photographer. Said it was due to childhood trauma, and he just wanted other folks to understand it. You know, he likes to be alone in solitude. He shows beautiful pictures of places that you know, seems kind of lonely. But he said, you know, I want people to feel like it's okay to be alone. So he does it for a different purpose, you know. You know, and then you got to figure out, you know, what am I doing? How do other people do it? You know, watch the experts. You know, daggone, put on some Bob Ross if you're trying to figure out how to paint. Watch that guy. Find somebody else that you admire that, you know, is on TV or in person that does demos. You know, go and watch them. And it's good to be there in person because you can ask them some questions. You know, get some Q&A going on. You know, ask them how they do it, and then, you know, take a class and do it with them. You know, a buddy of mine that runs a couple of places, he has classes. You can get right out there and do it with him. He'll show you how to do it. And then you got to think again with what am I doing? Ask how you can do it. You know, how can I do it? How can I implement this? You know, what have you learned? And practice it, you know, put it to use, and can I do it, you know? Just got to ask yourself, am I ready for this? You know, have you prepared? If you've already prepared, you watch people and you study, you know, I think you're ready to get out there and do it. And then you got to ask yourself, you know, how do I do it? You know, you get your pencil and paper and gear and your acrylics and pastels and easel and hat. You know, you get all your gear, and we'll talk about that in another session. And then you look for somebody that's going to support you. You know, people who care, and people who encourage you. You know, people that want to see you succeed. You know, that tell you you're okay to do this. You've got some talent. You know, maybe you should try it out. These are the people you want to surround yourself with. This is something we need. You know, some support. You know, you get your gear, you get your support. And you want people that are going to feed your passion. You know, so that, you know, we're preparing to get over it. You're surrounding yourself with a network, you know. And then the final thing is self-confidence. You know, everybody thinks they're a hack. You know, everybody thinks, I can't do this. My stuff is terrible. And I had the worst imposter syndrome, you know, self-doubt. You know, and I think that at one point I was ready to give up. And luckily I had my support system that stepped in and cut that off. Thank God. What else would I be doing? So, you know, we have our self-doubt, and at one point I was thinking, man, I'm terrible. And I'm in a class saying this, and one of my friends is like, you cannot say that. You cannot go around saying or verbalizing that you're terrible at something when people admire what you do and they love what you do, because they look at your stuff and they look at their own stuff and they're like, man, if he's terrible at it, how am I supposed to get any better? You know, I'd done this painting, and I thought, man, this is going in the trash. And other people were like, oh, it's fantastic. And a few of them were like, oh, it's a great start. It's a good underpainting. And I thought, oh, that's terrible. But, you know, we're all at different levels. You know, some of us are better than others, and you know, some of us are just starting out, and you know, we're all at different levels, and you got to stick together. So the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And we're going to continue this series as we go along, and talk about some other things. With this is how we prepare. Today we went over prepare, and we'll go over practice next time. Tell you how to implement that and what you need to do. A couple of key points there. So we asked ourselves some questions. We, you know, what am I afraid of? What am I doing, and how do I do it? So we covered those right quick. So rewind the video if you want. And then there was a couple more things I wanted to say. 15 minutes isn't enough time, so spared you the agony of going through all my stories. But I said we'd go and take a look around the yard today. You know, it comes in with, what am I going to paint? Well, I paint anything and everything. What am I going to draw? You know, so deciding what we're going to draw, anything and everything. So I'm lucky enough to have the backyard. And Vince, there goes Vince. Yeah, it's a pretty nice day out here. And I'll show you a couple things. Can I turn this around? Here we go. So I don't know if this is all familiar to you through the pictures I've drawn, but that's the berry patch for Star. There's a rose there, yellow rose. These are some kind of flowers, Asian thing that's supposed to make tea with, keep down your inflammation. Cone flowers. Here, I draw this once or twice a year. And Dad's ladder. They're not daisies, is what I was told, but I can't paint them out here anyhow. They get too high. My girlfriend picks them and puts them in a vase, and I paint them. This thing, I think they call it a dilly. I know I'm mispronouncing it, but whatever. Bleeding hearts and rocks. I picked a bunch of purple clover down at the river one year, and brought it up here, and this bunch of fern down in the bottom of the hill in the woods in the wet spot, and I thought that was cool. And then there's the lock. I've actually drawn the lock and the hinges on this thing. And there's bells and trinkets. The pigs made it into a couple of drawings, and Ed's bell, the birdhouse. this here little bonsai my girlfriend's got going on. That was pretty cool. One year I bought a bunch of citrus trees and brought them back here. I thought they'd be something, but turned out not to be what I thought it would be. Jasmine, man, jasmine smells good. So you're drawing jasmine. Here's sesame and the grill. Painted the grill once with when I was using it as a smoker, and the smoke was billowing out. That was kind of cool. And then of course the grapes. I never get any good grapes. One year I did, but I can paint this all year round. In the spring, it's beautiful sprouts coming out of it. And who doesn't like a gnarly vine? I love that stuff. And all the shades and light that cascade over the vine. And out here in the country, you gotta have some corn. I planted some corn. It never does super, but I don't know. I'd like to have a little bit of corn. And then of course the tomatoes. Oh my goodness, look at who made an appearance. That was completely unplanned. Look at these two clowns. Look at that. So you got that to paint in the yard too. And I just wanted to mention the flat rock and bird poo that I put out there. That's actually the name on it. Bird poo on a flat rock. But these are these two. Outstanding. Well, it looks like I'm here actually all alone. I can't see anybody. I can't see any comments, but I'm doing it. Maybe I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Hopefully I didn't go over the time limit. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. So did a little bit of preparation today, and next time we'll do practice. And then we'll do a little bit of role play. Talk to you next time.